So PJ Tucker has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. I didn't feel like making a video on it because he is a role player. This is not a blockbuster trade, but I felt like making a video on it now since he played his first game with the Milwaukee Bucks. So Tucker's first game with Milwaukee did not go so great as he scored 0 points. He also got 0 assists, but he did get 3 boards, which it's okay. It is totally fine. PJ Tucker is an aging 35-year-old player that is just not going to be in the rotation that much anymore. He is a great bench piece that can do some damage, but besides that, he's not a very useful player. So essentially, we got a Woj bomb a few days ago, and Woj says, sources, Houston is trading PJ Tucker, Rodions Kurucs, and Bucks 2022 first-round pick back to Milwaukee for DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and 2023 unprotected first-round pick. Houston also gets the rights to swap its 2021 second-round pick for Milwaukee's FRP pick unless it falls in the 1 to 9. So the deal was done. All anyone really wanted to talk about in this deal was PJ Tucker because, come on. The other players are like DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and Rodions Kurucs. And obviously PJ Tucker is the best player in this trade. I would not call it a blockbuster trade. And what's even crazier is that PJ is 35 years old and people are still talking about this trade. So honestly, this is one of the weirdest trades to me in NBA history. This season for Milwaukee, PJ has zeros in pretty much everything. But guys, let's give him time. He's only played 1 game, and I know you guys are going to rush to the comments and say, PJ Tucker has only played 1 game. You are out of your mind. But even that he scored 0 points, that kind of surprises me because I see PJ Tucker as a reliable 3-point shooter, and yes, he is 35 years old, but I see him as a reliable corner 3-point shooter, but he did not come up in the clutch when he needed to in the game versus San Antonio. And I'm wondering if this will be the long decline of PJ Tucker. Now, this trade deadline has more or less, surprised me because usually we have at least a few blockbuster trades that come up around the trade deadline. And now there's only 4 days left to make a trade, and none of the teams are going to make a trade, and it's kind of been a boring trade deadline. That is what has been happening, and this actually could be the most boring trade deadline ever because PJ Tucker, he's probably the best player that's been traded so far. And yeah, I know James Harden was traded, but that was way before the trade deadline. I know Derrick Rose traded before the trade deadline, way before it. So PJ could end up being one of the best players traded this season, which is really hilarious to me because, it's freaking PJ Tucker, bro. So 2 days ago, the Milwaukee Bucks tweeted he's here, meaning PJ Tucker's here, as he got off the plane to get on his Milwaukee Bucks uniform and play at practice. So essentially, PJ has only been in Milwaukee for 2 days now, and you can't really blame him for only having 0 points because, come on, he's been with the team for 2 days. He had 1 practice to memorize their plays, and he had 1 day. Usually, players get to sit out for at least a week to memorize their new team's plays, but they didn't give that kind of respect to PJ Tucker. All his career, PJ Tucker has been a solid volume three-point shooter that can really knock it down. And he's only 6'5", but he's one of the best big men in the league, especially when he played with Houston. And he's getting a little out of his comfort zone in Milwaukee, as he's really struggling in Milwaukee, probably because he is used to playing small ball center with the Houston Rockets, and that is just not what has been happening right now. But I could see PJ Tucker playing small forward for the Milwaukee Bucks off the bench, because they already have Chris Middleton in the starting lineup, and Chris takes a bunch of the shooting guard and small forward minutes. And as I mentioned before, PJ Tucker is 35 years old, which is pretty old for an NBA player. And so PJ Tucker will probably retire in the next 1 to 2 years. So he's probably just playing out his last 1 2 years in the NBA. And he's just happy to be in the NBA right now, because I know PJ Tucker has held down a spot in the NBA for a very long time. And PJ Tucker is a very memorable and remarkable player that will not be forgotten for a long, long time. Now, before he got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, PJ Tucker was rumored to go to the LA Lakers or the Golden State Warriors, or another team like that, like the LA Clippers or something. But obviously, you know that's never going to happen. They make up those rumors, and I have expressed that many times on this channel. Many, many times. Those trades never happen when people want them to.